Hello to you, very warm welcome. This is World Business Report. I'm Ben Thompson, and we're going to start this programme in Sri Lanka, where more than 40 MPs have left the Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's coalition government. Protests continue, though, across the country as the nation struggles with power cuts and shortages, all of that due to an economic and foreign exchange crisis. Well, the country's Finance Minister Ali Sabri was among the resignations. He handed in his notice just one day after taking up the job. Mr. Sabri was due to hold pretty crucial talks with the International Monetary Fund on access to a new loan programme. While many of those protests have been linked to the rising cost of living, Sri Lanka's currency has lost more than 30% of its value against the US dollar in just the past month. So let's cross now live to Colombo, where our business reporter Archana Shukla joins us. Welcome to World Business Report. It's good to have you with us and talk us through what's happening. So it's been a tumultuous 24 hours. The cabinet has resigned. What happens next?
Well, at this point in time, the focus for the Rajapaksa family, who's still in power as president and prime minister, is to find an able cabinet, especially an able finance minister, to ride through this crisis. Because with this political instability, any talks of economic, restoration of economic ties will not go through. Political instability will be the biggest deterrent, even when, the country moves for bailout talks with IMF later this month. Remember, Ali Sabri, who took on as a finance minister just for 24 hours, was, along with GL Paris, who's currently also the foreign minister, were supposed to be part of the crucial debt restructuring team that would talk to the IMF, come up with plans, because IMF has already said the debt that the country has at this point in time is unsustainable and more measures would be required before external aid and help comes to them in form of more loans. But that crucial team has also been disbanded now with no finance minister at the head. And, political instability will also bring down investor confidence in the country as well.
Yes, and give me a sense of what is behind all of this. We know that rising prices are a problem in many countries around the world, but there are particular concerns that Sri Lankans have. Just explain some of the context to these protests.
The biggest concern is shortages of food and fuel. Now, as an economy, Sri Lanka is dependent on imports of essential goods like crude, fuel, food items, as well as medicines, and a lot other essential services as well. At the same time, they fund these imports with foreign exchange that they get from exports of garment, tea, rubber, as well as the entire big tourism industry in Sri Lanka. Now, because of Easter attacks in 2019 and followed by 2 years of pandemic, the entire export industry, along with tourism, collapsed, and the foreign exchange reserves came down. During this time, the government that was reeling to repay debts that it has ballooned, almost $51 billion of foreign debt that the country has accumulated over the years, including a large bit of commercial loan from China for large infrastructure projects that did not really bring revenues back to the country. That was another burden that the country was looking into. So to deal with that, the government went ahead, devalued its rupees, it reduced interest rates as well, raising inflation. Shortages added to inflation, with prices going up of essentials by 2 to 4 times in certain categories. And this is something that the government will need to find a way out to find money, find dollars to pay for fuel.